Anyone who trains regularly runs into the exact same daily friction, trying to find something to eat that provides immediate energy without sitting in your stomach like a rock and causing metabolic drag. This comparative data visualization highlights the flaws in our default choices. On the left side, we see traditional nuts like almonds and peanuts, which bring a high caloric and fat density that slows digestion. On the right, we see the ingredient breakdown of standard protein bars, revealing a heavy reliance on artificial sweeteners and synthetic additives. The elusive perfect fuel needs to hit a very specific set of parameters. It must occur naturally, break down quickly in the digestive tract, and pack a high volume of nutrients without bringing along empty calories. Enter Makhana. Sourced directly from Asian wetlands, it begins as a seed nestled inside the pod of the lotus flower, before being harvested, roasted, and making its way into modern athletic nutrition. So, how exactly does the biological composition of this ancient seed map on to the rigid demands of a modern 24-hour fitness and recovery cycle? The cycle begins with the pre-workout window. In the hour before training, the body demands accessible energy that won't abruptly disappear halfway through the session. Makhana answers this demand by delivering a highly concentrated payload of complex carbohydrates. To understand why that specific carb profile matters, we look at the glycemic index, a metric that measures how quickly a food raises blood sugar. Traditional pre-workout snacks rely on simple sugars, which score very high, whereas Makhana sits much lower on the scale. This dual-line timeline graph plots blood sugar levels to reveal the biological mechanism at play. The sharp, rapid spike represents the immediate surge and subsequent crash of sugary snacks. The smooth, prolonged plateau below it illustrates the slow, steady trickle of glucose into the bloodstream provided by a low glycemic food like Makhana. If we apply a high-intensity training window to this timeline, the impact of that sustained release becomes obvious. The sugar line plummets below baseline right when the body is under maximum physical stress, causing an insulin crash. The Makhana line remains steadily elevated, offering continuous support. By supplying a slow-burn fuel that matches the exact duration of a demanding workout, it completely protects the body from that mid-session energy collapse. As soon as the workout ends, the clock starts on the immediate post-workout window. The physical exertion leaves micro-tears in the muscle fibers, creating an urgent biological requirement for new repair material. Makhana arrives at this phase with a very specific payload, a robust profile of plant-based protein and essential amino acids. These amino acids trigger muscle protein synthesis, acting as the physical building blocks required to knit those torn fibers back together into a denser, stronger state. Because Makhana has an exceptionally high protein-to-fat ratio, it delivers these building blocks without dropping a heavy fat load into the stomach. This allows the body to rapidly process the nutrients and completely bypass sluggish digestion. In this highly sensitive rebuilding window, it successfully delivers maximum structural repair material with zero metabolic friction. The final and longest phase of the 24-hour cycle is nighttime recovery. Regardless of training intensity, physiological gains occur exclusively while the body is at rest. This cross-section model of a muscle cell shows exactly how Makhana's micronutrients facilitate that rest. Geometric representations of magnesium and potassium actively bind to and neutralize acidic waste molecules. This chemical action flushes out accumulated lactic acid and prevents post-training muscle cramps. When we zoom out from that localized chemical reaction, we see the broader nervous system response. This precise mineral combination actively signals the parasympathetic nervous system to downregulate, prompting the tense cell structure to adopt a fluid, relaxed state that initiates deep sleep. By chemically forcing the nervous system to calm down, Makhana bridges the massive physiological gap between extreme physical exertion and absolute cellular recovery. When evaluated through the lens of human biology, Makhana steps out of the category of a trendy snack. It proves itself as a scientifically validated functional tool. Integrating it into a daily routine requires almost zero friction. You can easily dry roast a handful with spices for a clean pre-workout boost, or simply swap it in place of highly processed evening chips. Consistently making these minor dietary substitutions creates a compounding effect. Replacing heavy fats and artificial additives with clean plant protein directly accelerates weekly and monthly fitness milestones. Achieving peak physical performance requires precise workout intensity, but it relies equally on the sheer biological efficiency of the fuel consumed. Because it optimizes preparation, fuels the exertion, and accelerates cellular recovery, Makhana stands as the ultimate high-efficiency fuel for the modern fitness enthusiast.